What's up agents, Wolf here. Welcome to another Division 2 build video. In today's video, I'm going to showcase to you my best solo PvP build for TU 15.1. You can completely counter Heartbreaker, pulse builds like spotter builds, and also skill builds, status effect builds. We've got 60% hazard protection. You can get up to 100% pulse res with the right modifications. And we can also heal ourselves so incredibly well whilst doing over 132% headshot damage, beaming through multiple agents, keeping ourselves alive and mitigating almost everything. I will play some gameplay for you guys to see what I mean, and then I will discuss everything in detail shortly. Enjoy, guys.
Helo almost at extraction zone. Nearby agent has gone rogue. Rogue defender drone detected.
Easy 1v1, easy.
Nearby rogue agent killed.
Patrick Wolf, why you shoot me? Patrick, shoot, Patrick.
Rogue agent neutralized nearby. Rogue agent neutralized. Rogue Stinger Hive detected. Rogue defender drone detected. Helo is headed back. Rogue agent eliminated. Most at extraction zone. Nearby agent has become rogue. Rogue agent nearby. Helo is on site. Vital signs critical. Rogue agent neutralized.
He's bored.
Initiated. Initiating rogue protocol. Rogue assault turret detected. Easy drop incoming. Extraction called for. Rogue striker drone detected. Extraction helo almost within range. Dark zone drop available. Helo arrived. DZ drop claimed by A-shaped agent. Contaminated gear detected. Now detecting contaminated gear. Rogue Stinger Hive detected. Rogue Defender drone detected. Rogue Hive detected. Nearby agent has gone rogue. Rogue Defender drone detected.
Oh, was that
Rogue
Patrick
Stinger
Wilson?
Hive detected.
What the fuck?
Helo is returning to base. Rogue Striker drone detected. Rogue Defender drone detected. System curtailed. System restored. System disrupted. System back online.
Hopefully you guys did enjoy the gameplay. So we're going to go through the build right now. I'm going to talk about it first before I show you each individual piece, just to give you an idea of how this build works. So as you guys saw from the gameplay, you have an idea of how you play with it. You throw your hive down, your chem launcher, whatever healing skill you want to be using. Then you strafe around, shoot when the other player is not shooting you. You can survive against a whole group of players in the current game, which is, it's quite rare to be able to do that in this game because survivability isn't very good at the moment, especially playing solo. But I found myself 1v3ing players with this build. It's so incredible how we can strafe around, healing ourselves incredibly well whilst dishing out lots of damage. We have hazard protection, we've got pulse resistance, we are immune to pulse, so Heartbreaker, all of these spotter flatline builds, we mitigate them completely. This is going to be the perfect solo build, and it's a lot of fun to use as well. If you're on console and you cannot hit headshots, because I've spec'd a little bit into headshots, where you see me, where I've, like for example, if I've rolled repair skills and headshot damage, you don't have to roll headshot damage. Go for hazard protection and repair skills instead of the headshot damage, or you can go for crit chance and just make a crit build. It's completely up to you whether or not you can hit headshots or not. And if you want to use a shotgun or SMG, probably SMG if you want to go for crit, that would work just as well. Even the Lady Death could hit really hard, so that I would definitely incorporate that. But like I say, guys, leave a comment. I will try my best to reply to help you out with changing the setup to suit your own playstyle. But like I said, just headshot damage, go for crit, and then maybe use an SMG. That's going to be the easiest way because we need to spec into repair skills, incoming repairs, pulse res, we need hazard protection. If we don't, we won't win playing solo in PvP. So let's talk about the specialization. It's important because we need to use a technician or survivalist. It's really up to you whether or not you want to use the mender mine, but I recommend using this. Why? Because as you saw in the clip, we actually are immune to disruption. If we throw our healing hive, the hive will get disrupted, but we get it back after a few seconds. We still have our chem launchers, even though we only have got 60% Hasbro on this build, we can still actually not get disrupted. So Faraday field is vital. And also we get an extra skill tier. Why haven't I gone for 6 yellows or 6 skill tiers? Because the Catharsis mask works off of armor damage. And in the current meta, I tried a full tier 6, even at, like, for example, a 5 tier build, you just get melted too fast. You need that additional armor and unbreakable to survive, and then you heal yourself on top of that. And it scales well with the Catharsis mask, which is a percentage of your actual armor of your agent. So that all works together really well. This took me a while to make this build, guys, so hopefully you do enjoy it. Like I said, I've tested it in so many other ways, and this seems to be the best for me. AR damage or SMG damage or shotgun damage, whatever weapon you want to use, it's completely up to you. Let's take a look at the build. So I have got the Bighorn. Don't use this. If you're going to be playing on console, if you don't want to make a headshot build, SMG, or for an assault rifle, I would recommend using the capacitor because we're making use of our extra yellows for damage. This will do more damage than the FAMAS. So use the capacitor if you have anything more than 3 skill tiers, and it hurts the enemy agents a lot. So I'd recommend using this, especially for a crit build, because this gun actually comes with 10% crit chance scope and 30% crit damage. So this is going to be really, really powerful, or SMG or shotgun, whatever you want to use, but I definitely recommend this. The EB is also quite good for me because I can kill one agent and then use the red buff to push the rest of the team. Sometimes I have used that in the past. You can use whatever gun you want, really. Just keep in mind that if you use the Kingbreaker, which I have got here, you might find that we've got the link laser pointer, and some players will also have pulse resistance. Therefore, you won't get the damage. So if you see the player is not getting pulsed, then just keep that in mind. Now, one thing I need to talk about before we move forward. I have only got 99.9% pulse resistance. I did some testing, guys, in the dark zone. This is what I found. So if you're going up against a flatline spotter build, you only need 90%. If you only get pulsed for about a very short amount of time, like a split second. So we did some testing. I had 99.9%, or my friend had 99.9%, and the first initial shot counts as the damage from spotter and flatline. After the first bullet or two, you lose the damage because the pulse, it's like the more pulse res you have, the less time you spend being pulsed, if you know what I'm saying. So with a build like this, 99.9 is more than enough to mitigate spotter builds or flatline builds in the game. But Heartbreaker, here's the interesting thing. Heartbreaker only stacks bonus armor still. They haven't fixed it. So Heartbreaker players will still stack the bonus armor at 99.9. You have to have 100% to stop the Heartbreaker players from stacking the bonus armor, but they won't be getting more damage. So in short, what would I recommend? if you don't have a 10% mod, just use a 99.9 and be wary of the Heartbreaker players. They won't get damaged, so that you should be able to melt them down, especially the ones that don't use the backpack, because that gives them more actual bonus armor. You will still melt them. I don't have any problem with Heartbreaker players, as you guys saw from the gameplay, but just keep in mind that definitely have 100%. And also, if you want to be invisible to the spotter players or the flatline players who are using pulse or laser pointer, you need to have 100%. Otherwise, you will blip on their map or in their vision behind walls for like a split second. So just remember that, guys. So let's move on. Like I say, I would try get a 10% mod because we've got one pulse res mod. Use one pulse res mod with 10% if you can, but for now you can use like a 99.3, 99.6. That seems to be all right for now. So it's up to you guys. Try get that 10%, but it's difficult for me to test because we're getting different readings and results. So we never know how this game works. Sometimes working as intended seems to be the thing they're using all the time to kind of like excuse what's happening in the game right now. So I'm not even sure myself. I've done the testing and that's what I found. So the Bighorn is really nice with this build. Why? Because we've got a lot of headshot damage on this build. As you guys can see, 132% headshot damage, which is crazy. Now, when we stack this up, it's ridiculous. I can just melt through any player. It's just really nice. Now, the Eagle Bearer works well if I'm going against multiple players, so maybe I should be using that. But the amount of stacks we get is just unmatched. It's so powerful. And even if someone has got pulse res, they die. Doesn't matter. Kingbreaker is also really good. It's going to be more damage initially, but the Bighorn is just by far with the headshot build the best. But like I said, capacitor, really nice. Then the Orbit Pistol, I don't normally use this, but you can get some extra crit damage from it. So with the pieces, simple guys, the 3-piece Jarl is vital because we get a baseline amount of pulse res from the specialization. Make sure that's activated, by the way, if you don't have everything maxed out on the spec tree. 3-piece Jarl, now this is going to be difficult to make. You can actually craft some of these from the crafting bench, so give it a go. You don't have to do it in this way. You can have, for example, Jarl gloves and backpack, and then RNK chest and Alp Summit holster. But 3-piece Jarl to mitigate the actual pulse resistance, or to give us that nice pulse resistance, 40%. We need this, otherwise we will get beamed by the current meta builds. So we have got everything has different roles. I know it's like a rainbow build, but it works, and it's the only way to run it. Otherwise we'll get destroyed. So 3-piece Jarl. All of these pieces are going to be blues. Now, you can go for an extra yellow or maybe an extra blue. I think it's important to have at least 1.1 million. That's still pushing it for the Catharsis Mask. The main reason why is because we want to get a decent heal from it. Because it removes our status effects, it gives us more damage. So don't forget, we will be getting more damage on this build from this mask. And then we get 5% of our max armor. So it makes sense going for a bit of armor. And like I said before, in this current meta, the healing hive and the chem is too slow if you have 6 tier yellows. You just die too quick for the hive to even catch up with you. So I think this is a good balance. No less than 1.1 million. 3-piece Jarl, I've gone for Unbreakable. The funny thing is you can go for a multitude of talent combinations. So Unbreakable and Companion works really well because I'm always going to be fighting with my hive out. Even if it gets disrupted, I have a second and I drop it down again. I always have that damage. If you're playing in a team, even though this is a solo build, you still get the damage from your teammates being near you. You can use Concussion. I would say Concussion could potentially be better, but a lot of players are strafing in the game, so I cannot always hit headshots. This is non-situational. Well, it is situational damage, but as long as I have it up, I can shoot them in the body if I can't beam the head. So Concussion would be really good for this. Intimidate and Adrenaline Rush is a very situational talent when we have a build like this. We're going to be strafing around, tanking lots of damage. Our bonus armor will get lost, therefore we don't have a backpack talent or a chest piece talent. So it's up to you. You can try all of that, but Unbreakable has saved me so many times, and this just gives me nice damage. But there are so many different ones you can use, guys. It's completely up to you. Adrenaline Rush would be great. You can go for this. Companion just works well. I'm going to try Concussion. I think Concussion would be really, really nice. You can use Wicked if you want to try and maybe use Trauma on the chest. There's a bunch of different talents you can use, but this for me just makes sense and it works. But I will definitely try Farmer Bag where I can change up the talent, because right now I can't. But Companion does work well, and I'm sure you saw from the gameplay, it's really, really good. But I definitely will try and change it up, and I will update you in the comments down below. So with 3-piece Jarl with the Catharsis Mask, then the Alps Summit Backpack, 20% repair skills, and then incoming repairs for us, we have got the RNK 1-piece. So you guys are going to see different roles. Attributes, it might get confusing, so just pay attention. I've got a mod on my mask, which is going to be 9.9% pulse res. If you got a 10% one, go for that. Then On the other ones, I got 19.5% repair skills and 19.9% repair skills. That will increase the healing of my hive and my actual chem launcher. This heals me a lot. Considering we've only got 3 yellows, it's quite good. And you guys can see I've fought some really good players and I survived against 2 of them at once. So the healing is more than enough for me. And the fact is, it's up to you how much repair skills you actually spec into this build. So you can even use improvised pieces, maybe even improvised gloves, but I wouldn't recommend doing that for the fact that we need the 3-piece yarn. Otherwise, improvised pieces with extra repair skills mods could be good, or even the chill out mask potentially. So we've got here this mask, guys. Like I said before, you take damage, it drops a healing chem basically for you, an additional one. It removes status effects and gives you more weapon damage. Must have, very good mask, I recommend it. Then the chest piece, we have got hazard protection, headshot damage, repair skills with unbreakable. Those 3 are mainly the theme of this build, so I would recommend going for that where you can. Like I said before, if you don't want to put headshot damage, crit chance, or you can go for more repair skills. You're fine. That will still work, but I'm trying to get as much damage as I can as well. What you could also do is use the Card 45 pistol, which gives you an additional skill tier. So then when you're strafing, trying to heal up, hold your pistol, get the extra skill tier. Therefore, your healing skills will do better. Then switch back to your primary weapon when you're ready to shoot. The holster, I've got repair skills and hazard protection. The sweet spot is no less than 55%, I would say, because the foam guys can really get you. Disruption doesn't seem to be a problem. So many players disrupted me and it didn't work. They still couldn't kill me because even if we don't have our healing skills, we still hit hard and we still have unbreakable. So it doesn't actually matter. So repair skills and hazard protection. The backpack helps sum up for that 20% repair skills, very important. Skill tier, Pro and repair skills, another repair skills mod. Companion, while you're within 5 meters of an ally with skill, because we want to do this for Faraday Field, it just makes sense. Weapon damage is increased by 15%. You guys can use Adrenaline Rush, try different ones. Concussion could be good. There's a multitude of different talents you guys can be using. Then we have got R&K gloves, headshot, hazard protection, incoming repairs to heal us a bit more. Repair skills works a bit better, but incoming repairs is almost as good. Then the knee pads, headshot damage and repair skills. You can see a theme going on here. Headshot, Pro repair skills. Works great. The synergy of all of this together, it doesn't look the greatest. When I saw this, I thought this is not going to work. This is one of my favorite builds. I will show you on the stream how powerful this is. You will not lose a 1v1. If you do this properly, you're just immortal. You will not die. It's so powerful, even against multiple agents. But in the game, there's a lot of damage, especially if there's 3 players using level 20 king breakers, you're going to get beamed. But I can imagine if you level this up, it could be really good. So with my skills, make sure you do put repair charges on the healing hive. You can use whatever healing skills you want. These 2 just make sense and do the most amount of healing for me. You can use a survivalist if you want with the Seeker Mine, but it's quite clunky. But I recommend this, especially when you get disrupted. You can still drop your chems because of Faraday Fields, because you're always going to be near your hive for the Faraday Field and for the companion talent, which works well. Statistics, actually not too bad. They look quite impressive. Like I said, don't be fooled by the paper. 132 headshot damage, very nice. We will be getting way more than that with this gun. Then we have got some health damage, some accuracy. It's not too bad from the watch, the Shade Tech watch. You guys can pause the video. I don't think, or if you want to see the rest of the stats, just give it a pause. I'm not going to talk about it too much. We've got a bit of armor regen from the Catharsis mask. Doesn't really matter. Incoming repairs, 38%. Pulse res, 99.9. Hazard protection, 60%. Skill haste doesn't matter. I never ever find myself running out of stuff. I don't know why. I guess it depends how you play. You got to be a bit more careful. You still have armor kits as well if you need to proc them, but I never had a problem with skill haste, so don't worry about that. It heals quite well. The damage is huge. Insane survivability. We can just tank so much. And the fact of the matter is we're immune to most of the metas, and this could potentially be a meta in and of itself. So let me know what you guys think of the build. Honestly, it's one of my favorite builds I've used in this game so far since the new update. It's really fun to play, very powerful. So make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the build in the comments down below. And I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace out, guys.